In the center of the church stood an absolutely stunning statue, but as the man approached for a closer look, he discovered, to his horror, that it was actually a human mummy. The mummy's entire body was void of any fingerprints, and the killer had only left their signature on the feet. When the police lifted the dress, they saw that the killer's signature was the artist. This bore a striking resemblance to the artist serial killer from 5 years ago, who had murdered 6 beautiful women and turned them all into mummified statues. However, the artist from back then was currently in prison, making it impossible for him to commit more murders. The only explanation was that someone was copying his modus operandi. Yet there were no clues left at the crime scene. Lucy suggested seeking help from the artist in prison, thinking it might quickly lead to some clues. When Lucy arrived at the prison, the artist seemed to have been expecting the police to come to him. Lucy showed him photos of the mummy statue and told him that the killer this time had used the same preservatives as he did, so the killer must be connected to the artist. The artist merely smiled slightly and agreed to help, but on the condition that the prison be set up as his studio so he could more accurately recreate the killer's state of mind. And so, the police transformed the entire prison into a studio. Upon analyzing the photos, they indeed noticed something odd. The feathers on the statue's wings were asymmetrical. Lucy immediately went to investigate and, sure enough, found a bottle of nail polish in the missing feather. But strangely, this nail polish had been discontinued for many years, and there were no fingerprints left on it. Just as the case seemed to hit a dead end, someone called the police to report another mummified statue had been found. The mummy was placed on a small boat, and the killer had also attached wings to it. Lucy checked the corpse's nails right away and found that one of them was painted a different color. Hidden under the nail was a second clue, a compass needle. The police chief turned pale upon seeing the compass needle because it belonged to his good friend Jack. But Jack had died 5 years ago while apprehending the artist. Lucy asked him how Jack died, but the chief froze and didn't speak. After hesitating for a long time, he said it was a car accident. Lucy knew the chief was lying but didn't call him out on it. What Lucy didn't expect was that the chief attended a mysterious gathering that very night. On stage, a witch asked a man to sit down, then she gently twisted the doll in her hand, and the man's body twisted along with it. Shortly after, the man died in a bizarre manner. The next day, the chief pretended to go to work as normal. Soon, the police received a report. This time, the body was also made into a statue and placed in the center of an exhibition hall. Oddly, the hall's surveillance footage was missing 6 hours. The attentive Lucy lifted a candlestick and found a compass underneath. She immediately inserted the compass needle found earlier, and the compass pointed to a corner of the museum. It was a painting of a puppet. After removing the painting, the brazen killer had actually left a string of characters here. The police stared at it for a long time without understanding. Lucy had no choice but to go to the prison and ask the artist. However, she saw the artist's hands twitching uncontrollably. The prison guard told Lucy that the artist had a blood clot in his brain, so this would happen when he slept, and he must not be awakened. When the artist woke up naturally, he told Lucy that it was a mix of German and English, and it spelled out the address of a counterfeit auction house. Lucy went to the auction house and indeed found a painting where the killer had copied the artist's work. After a thorough 360-degree inspection, she discovered a fingerprint. The address was quickly found from the fingerprint. Just as everyone thought the case was about to be solved, there was only a mummy at the address. For more exciting content, please search name, Mindcage.